Isaiah 62 brims with rich metaphors and promises, delivering a message that resonates through the ages. Two metaphors in verses 4 and 5 stand out, painting a vivid picture reminiscent of a wedding ceremony in a church. "You shall be called, my delight is in her, and your land married. For the Lord delights in you, and your land shall be married. For as a young man marries a young woman, so shall your sons marry you. And as the bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall your God rejoice over you." Here, the prophet Isaiah likens the redeemed people of Jerusalem to the bride of God. The whole chapter is steeped in the atmosphere of vows, promises, and confessions between a bridegroom and his bride. Perhaps you recall the wedding vows spoken in church ceremonies. Some may argue that wedding vows vary greatly, and indeed they do. However, upon careful observation, one will find that all wedding vows encompass three core elements: the union of love, shared honor and humility, and the protection and obedience of love. Let's consider a simplified version of wedding vows, typically initiated with a question from the officiant, followed by a tripartite discourse of statement, response, and declaration. Do you willingly take as your wife to live according to the teachings of the Bible, to become one in God's presence, to love, comfort, respect, and protect her as you love yourself, in sickness and health, in wealth and poverty, remaining faithful until death parts you? The groom responds, "I do." Do you willingly submit to, as your husband, to live in gentleness and grace, to love, assist him, build a Christ-centered home, respect his family as your own, fulfill your duties as a wife until death parts you? The bride responds, "I do." Finally, the vows conclude with the couple's mutual agreement. "I accept you as my lawful husband, promising to have and to hold you in all circumstances, in good times and bad, in wealth and poverty, in health and sickness, to love, respect, and cherish you until death parts us. I swear this sacred vow before God." Isaiah 62 encapsulates these three principles. First, it establishes the union of love, indicating that those who trust in God will join him in unity, becoming one family. Secondly, it emphasizes shared honor and humility, as seen in verses 3 and 9. "You shall be a crown of beauty in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of your God. But they who have garnered it shall eat it and praise the Lord, and they who have gathered it shall drink it in the courts of my sanctuary." This principle applies to both the bride and groom. As the husband views his wife as a precious treasure to protect, he grants her the honor she deserves, and in return, the wife loves and praises her husband. The third principle is the protection of love. Verse 8 emphasizes the protection of one's spouse from external harm. "The Lord has sworn by his right hand and by his mighty arm, I will not again give your grain to be food for your enemies, and foreigners shall not drink your wine for which you have labored." Verses 6 and 10 highlight the principle of obedience and guidance. "Upon your walls, O Jerusalem, I have set watchmen. All the day and all the night they shall never be silent. Go through the gates, prepare the way for the people, build up the highway, clear it of stones, lift up a signal over the peoples." After exploring this chapter, isn't it intriguing how the sacred vows of marriage mirror God's promises to his people? In conclusion, may God bless those who have read this chapter and taken their wedding vows before him.